Today's update video, Tropical Storm Agatha. You can see it's not really as organized as it looks yesterday. You can see all the convections over the eastern semicircles, the western semicircles, stratus, cumulus, air, aloft, and it's moving over the 26 and eventually 25 C isotherm. And you can see all the convections located over the warmer waters to the south. The storm's probably slightly past its peak now, even though it looks decent. The agency estimates winds of about 40 knots, and it's probably a little bit accurate, but it's kind of hard to say. He was an early microwave from yesterday, though. That makes its intensity a bit uncertain, and people on Twitter were clamoring the system was near hurricane intensity. This eye feature appears to be a mid-level eye, just given the fact that the surrounding convection isn't very deep. You can kind of see almost like a remnant low kind of structure, almost. You can kind of see the system in general is very shallow. And I'm not sure, given the stratocumulus air aloft, I'm not sure if the strongest winds are reaching down to the surface. Agatha is supposed to continue to weaken over the next day or so as it continues to encounter cool water and eventually become a post-tropical remnant low, as it eventually is probably going to head north and bend back to the northeast, and remnants eventually move into the western United States. Mid-level remnants. Anyhow, this is the big weather story today. It's Tropical Storm Blas, I should call it. B-L-A-S. I guess it's Blas. You can see it's looking very, very impressive today. You can see this system was declared a tropical depression last night. This was Invest 94E. And it's become a bit better, become very well organized now. It kind of has that look of a strong system. You can see a very good, strong poleward up-level alpha. You can see some strong equatorial up-level alpha. Oh, hold on. One thing I'd like to point out, though, is I think the Dvorak has been underestimating Agatha. Let me point this out because I forgot to mention this. And the reason, because they have a tendency to underestimate the storms that are basically enhanced by this polar outflow jet here. And those sort of systems tend to be underestimated a bit by Dvorak techniques. So I think that's why energy is pretty conservative, since TAFB has not given us a higher than 2.5, and SAB has not given us a higher than 3.0, even though ET got to 3.3. Anyway, back to Blas. Speaking of outflow channels, Blas is an excellent equatorial and excellent poleward outflow channel, as both. And that is very conducive for a very symmetrical hurricane in a couple days. The energy has a system at 50 knots right now, which, given the structure, may even be a little bit conservative. Given that SAB gave this a dated T number of 3.5, which I'll get to later. You can see here's a very well formed rain band. You can see the central dense overcast developing right in the middle. You can tell the system isn't very light wind shear, and it's supposed to remain that way for the entire really several days. The exact sign of the system kind of depends on how far north the system goes. If the system stays rather far south, like with some of the global models, I'll show you in a second, are showing, the system likely be stronger for a bit while. If the system goes as far north as the agency is expecting it to, and starts moving over 26 to 25 feet water, it's going to be hard to say how much of the intensity system was able to maintain. It's likely, unless the system starts going through intercore problems like Hurricane Humanity last year, it's likely the system will at least maintain catch weight 2 or 3 intensity. But over cool waters, but the system has intercore problems at peak intensity. The system could weak faster, or it can go south and kind of stay like a catch weight 4 hurricane for several days. Now, how strong will this system become? It's kind of hard to say for sure. The CDO is not that thick. We've seen storms, even Hurricane Linda last year and Hurricane Patricia. Engines had much thicker CDOs, and even Linda only leads 110 knots, and that's usually a thick CDO kind of what leads to rising air, which kind of allows the storm to create creates its own environment by creating upper cyclonic aloft, and that's kind of why the MGL and Quebec Cooper wave poses are so critical, because they lead to rising air, which kind of allows for weak winds aloft, and that gives them the low wind shear that a tropical cyclone needs to thrive. And even though that definitely appears to be present, the thick CDO is now, and that's usually thick CDO. This sort of structure, like well-organized structure, is evident below shear zone, but the thick CDO, that, to be fair, you typically get a little bit further east. I don't think the tropopause is as cold at this latitude, at this far west, but my point still stands. As the system regardless, the system still lacks the thick CDO, in my opinion, that the system will probably need if it's serious about becoming like a Cat Wave 5 hurricane. However, I'd be surprised if the system didn't attain at least 125 knots. I guess Cat 5 is still possible, but I'm not sure the system will be able to get the white rain it needs in order to have to sustain it for 6 hours most likely, maybe more depending on constraints, in order to get the 7.0 readings, in order to justify an intensity of 140 knots. Now let's take a look at the EDT analysis. They're increasing slowly. They currently have at 41 knots, which is actually probably pretty conservative. Here's the Dvorak analysis. You can see the data T numbers 0.35, that's solely based on the 0.9 rounding, which actually appears reasonable given how far this is wrapping around the center. And the system will probably be a hurricane by tonight. And that, depending on microwave, of course, and depending how its inner core is developing, there hasn't been any microwave passes recently. So now, let's take a look at the GFS run very quickly. It fizzles out Agatha, makes Blas a very strong hurricane, as it eventually, there's pretty good agreement with the models that Blas will continue west, and then eventually feel a weakness created by an upper level low, like, I won't show it in North America, but created by an upper level low. If that allowed someone to feel a weakness in the ridge and eventually merge in the upper level low in the longer time frame. While the European kind of has the system eventually getting blocked, some runs have had the system the Europeans start getting blocked around 20 north as the ridge builds back in, the upper level low weakens. But I don't think the latest European says that. And behind Blas, you have this system that likely be Cecilia, probably by this weekend. And likely to continue west. And then, behind that, they've also been insisting on a rather strong hurricane. GFS has been insisting on a rather very robust hurricane. And this one actually shifted a little bit closer to the Baja California Peninsula, has a passing near Socorro Island, and then eventually has the Stella developing behind the European. Well, I lost her show. The European one is now is more similar to the GFS, so it doesn't make Blas so strong. It does develop Cecilia a little soon, then develops Estelle a bit. No, not Estelle, but Darby a bit further east. You can kind of see the start of another system behind it. You can kind of see at the 850. Above vortices, you can kind of see at least a hint of a start of another system behind it. Anyhow, that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We're going to see several tropical cyclones in the next 2 weeks or so. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye!